And beautiful thing about trading on the ETF, like, let's be real, we don't have a lot of time to research individual companies every single day or paying attention to what's going on because of our lifestyle as far as family, kids, jobs, school, whatever. But investing in ETF is a good way to where you can have access to a bunch of companies in one fund and be able to basically invest in the industry in itself. Right?
It's not as volatile.
It's not as volatile. But what we do employ that if you are going to do that, just look at and just know of the type of companies that are within that particular fund and know the weighting of each particular company. And what we mean by weighting.
Come around, got the whole thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
Welcome back to Minority Wall Street. I'm one of your hosts, Marcus Demitri.
And this is Anonymous J.
Simply put, we're here to increase your investment mindset. We believe that once you have it, you own it.
Yes, sir.
Profits over everything. Oh, that's coming a little bit more naturally now.
Oh yeah, the profits already.
Yeah. So, in today's video, we're going to, of course, talk about the market, what happened last week. Also, we decided to get a little high, with our money. We're going to be talking about the cannabis sector, marijuana. No, we don't. Me personally, I've never used.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have. The edible.
I didn't do that.
Yes, you did.
You know what? Hands to the Lord, I did not do that.
All right.
I know people who did.
Yes, I did. Heck yeah.
You did?
The edible, yeah, heck yeah.
At the wedding?
Yes.
And y'all didn't give me none?
I had some, and then our partner Miller. I know Miller had some. He was crying.
Okay, we ain't name dropping. Nobody know what that is. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk about the cannabis sector. We millennials, so that's a hot trending topic as far as investors, young investors, even old investors. So we wanted to know, how can we profit on it? How can we get our money high on it?
Stop. No more puns, nigga. No more puns.
All right, I'm keeping that though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, market recap. JJ, how was your trading last week?
Trading last week, didn't go the way that I planned. We both thought the market was going to go down based upon particular technicals and the information that we're getting about the state of the economy itself. So it actually went up because China and the U.S. are going to talk in October. Supposedly when they were supposed to talk this particular month. Mm-hmm. So as soon as it started to shoot up, I had to quit. I got out of that particular position. Again, you guys know what I trade. It's Amazon. Ticker symbol AMZN. I'll give you that information. But yeah, I lost a little bit of money.
But you don't do their options.
Yeah, I only do that option because their stock is very expensive, especially for retail investors, man.
If you say you trade their stock, people think you get bread because they like at 1900 some change.
With that 18. Yeah. Close at 1830.
Yeah. So for me, just doing some research, paying attention to what's going on in the market. The whole talk of China and U.S. supposed to be meeting in October regarding trade. That was very disappointing last week. I swear that was going to be bearish because of the trade talk, because of the new tariffs that China imposed on the U.S. So, but I guess that was already priced in the market. So a lot of investors like, hey, it is what it is. Basically, that's what they thinking. But going forward, what I think what's going to happen with the market as far as this week, I'm going to go bullish. And the reason I'm going to go bullish because I've been going bearish the last 2 weeks and I've been wrong. Besides that, another thing is that the last, this week, all the indexes have been trading at above its 50-day moving average. The most important index that I particularly look at is the Dow Transports, which is transportation. So that's your railroads, airplanes, trucks, anything that delivers products to businesses, consumers, and things of that nature. Usually, that particular industry is affected. One of the first affected indexes when it comes to slowing the economy because no one's buying anything. So no one's buying anything. There's no weight. Get it? Cannabis.
Here we go.
Yeah, there's no weight being delivered to companies or consumers. So I'm paying close attention to that particular index, and I don't see any negative divergence to where it will take a dip anytime for the rest of this year. And also we're going into what I call consumer season. So we have your holidays coming up, so that will attract for retail as well as these transportation companies to deliver these products to these businesses and things of that nature.
And
so,
another round of earnings as well.
Yeah, another round of earnings.
Retail.
Retail is coming up, right?
No, October into November. So you got the tech and
tech.
Retail and
I don't think
banking.
tech. Yeah. We talking about good with tech.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, because that's a different story with Facebook and antitrust and all that type of stuff. That's totally different. But to remain back on subject.
My bad.
Yes. So I'm looking at Dow Transports. The ticker symbol for that is TRAN.
$sign before the
Yeah, $TRAN, and that's if you on stockcharts.com. That's what we recommend. They don't subscribe to this video or pay for us. We just average users, and that's what we learned from. So ticker symbol $TRAN, Dow Transports. Pay close attention to what's going on in that index to let you know how the state of the economy is doing. And with that being said, we was up with like 38 some points this past week. What was it, 60 something? 60? So I know it was up between 30 and 60.
For the S&P?
Yeah, S&P.
I can't recall the
I
specific.
know it was up. It wasn't that drastically high.
We were wrong.
So we was wrong. But I'm gonna say next week bullish. I'm gonna say up 45. I'm gonna say up 45.
Okay, so you feel as though the S&P is going to finish close to its all-time high because it's like 2% off at this particular point in time.
45.
So
and
you think it's from a technical aspect, it's going to test its all-time high in the next
looking at the indexes for the S&P, the Dow, all that is up trading above the 50-day moving average. That's a great bullish sentiment, and I believe that we are due for the last bull run, the last hurrah, and typically that happens around this time. And once we cut through that 2% all-time high, I think it's gonna go up a lot more higher for the last bull run. So I'm gonna say bullish, up 45 points. 45 points. What say you, Anonymous J?
Okay, so last week, in my opinion, he has valid points as far as particular indexes being above the 50-day moving average on the daily chart. The only thing is my concern is the volume. So I didn't like the volume that was actually being traded within those indexes. So it didn't give me strong confidence to say, oh, we're about to go on a bull run. It might be slow into earnings season, but I don't know, man. I just think it's going to trade sideways, to be honest with you, man. So the index may go up and it may come back down, creating a doji. You see what I'm saying? So it may be up like 2 or 3 points this particular week. So that's how I feel.
So you gonna go bearish? I mean, if you go opposite, that means one of us had to win next week.
Okay, you know what? To be honest, I feel as though the index will go up a little bit and then finish bearish, man.
Oh,
How
many points?
Down. Not too much, man. 5 to 7 points. I say about 7 points.
7 points down.
Yeah, 7 points.
So I have 45, but we have 7 points down. 7 points down.
Yeah, 7 points from the open to the close.
Open to the close.
Because I just don't. This overdue bull run is crazy, man. 10 plus years.
It is. It's insane. It's insane. But that's what we believe. So we're gonna transition to what we researched this week. We want to try to have our weight moved around, looking at the cannabis marijuana sector. Okay, so we're gonna slowly transition to what we researched this past week was the cannabis marijuana sector. So I'm gonna let JJ start off too. Well, let's say this. I was responsible for looking at the recreational use of marijuana, the companies and the industry, and he was focused on the pharmaceutical healthcare side. So Brother got his pad ready. He took some good notes. So, yeah, man, I'm gonna let you start off because you have your notepad.
Okay, so everybody's pretty much heard about this opioid epidemic, and there's particular companies that people feel are responsible for. So you have these lawsuits, and there's 2 lawsuits that have been going on in Oklahoma, and they actually won the lawsuits. The plaintiffs actually won against the defendants, which is Johnson & Johnson and Purdue Pharma. Okay, so Johnson & Johnson had to pay about $570 million out to the state of Oklahoma. Yeah, it's crazy.
Just for Oklahoma?
Yeah,
just for Oklahoma, yeah.
Just for Oklahoma. And Purdue Pharma actually had to pay $240 out to Oklahoma because of the lawsuit, because of the opioid epidemic.
I'm sorry, can I cut you off on that?
Go ahead.
So ironically, it's funny you mentioned that, and so I was working at the previous investment firm. I'm not gonna name the firm, and I was privileged to attend a particular meeting, right? A good meeting, and there was some high-level legal representation at this particular meeting. It was just, real cool. And one of the, I'm gonna say, legal reps, her mission, her firm was actually trying to talk the organization that we was at to join in on the opioid class action lawsuit for against the state of Georgia, against the different companies that knowingly knew the risk of going on. So, and this meeting was around like about 2 years ago. So it's kind of crazy how things take shape when it comes to lawsuits and investments. So my bad. Go ahead. I just wanted to say that.
Nah. So Purdue Pharma actually makes the drug OxyContin. So of course everybody knows what OxyContin is, and people that actually use it have gotten addicted to it. So instead of utilizing those medicines, there's a particular company that actually got their medicine FDA approved using CBD, which is derived from marijuana or hemp. And so the name of the company is GW Pharmaceutical, and the name of the drug is, let's make sure, Epidiolex. Epidiolex. So it was actually approved June 25th, 2018. And so that's a particular company that's got its footprint within the medical field, the pharmaceutical field. And what it actually deals with, children of people that have seizures from particular diseases, and it actually helps with that. So from a pharmaceutical standpoint, that is the company. Again, GW Pharmaceuticals, and I want to make sure I get the ticker right, GWPH. And at this point in time, it's trading at 139.44. So it may be a company that people want to look at, and if you want to get invested within the marijuana stocks dealing with pharmaceutical and the healthcare sector.
Yeah, and just let y'all know, this channel is really an educational channel. So, disclaimer: any information that is contained in this video or what we say, please just don't go and just buy it with our information. Please do your research, do your homework. We're not financial advisors. We're not stockbrokers. We're just trying to educate and let you guys know where you can start looking at to place your money into. And all the companies that we mentioned in this video, we do, as of today, we do not have any ownership of stocks or anything like that. So just don't take our advice. We don't want to be wrong. We don't want you to get evicted or anything like that. Don't do that.
And the thing is that we're coming from a retail investor standpoint. So we're not like these institutions or these funds, mutual funds, hedge funds, whatever you want to say, that have millions and millions of dollars to actually invest in these companies. So what we do is, like he said, we do our research, we do our due diligence, and then we have to make an educated decision based upon the information that we get. And so we're taking particular risks. We're doing this, and we're giving you guys, once again, we said it before, the experience and the education of what to look for, what we look for, and hopefully you guys go on this journey with us. So that pharmaceutical stuff, that's good, blah. But the best thing is what I had to do was the cannabis recreational use, right? Again, never used it.
But I think once it's legal, I might dab in it. I might try it. Once it's legal. Yeah. But what I did was I kind of took like as a different approach. So we had like an hour-long debate earlier this morning. I was just letting him know what kind of research what I did, and it wasn't the research that he thought I was going to be doing. So what I decided to do was look at those companies that would actually take over the mom and pop cannabis recreational edible companies within Canada and within North America. So one of those companies that I know for sure is rumors they are talking, but I know for sure that they have money invested in cannabis edibles. It's Coca-Cola.
I know it, man.
Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola, if y'all don't know, it's a beverage company. They have Frito-Lay with snacks and stuff like that, like the Doritos and stuff like that, Lay's, potato chips, Frito-Lays and stuff like that.
Ticker symbol KO.
Yeah, ticker symbol KO. Again, educational purposes. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, I'm not really that risky of an investor, right?
I am.
He is, right? I have done some. I'll tell you a story a little later on in the video, but I have done some risky investments in my day. But for Coca-Cola, think of it as if something was once North America, United States, legalizes the uses of marijuana for recreational use. Just think about all the snacks, all the edibles, all the beverages that's going to be created because of this legalization of marijuana. So, do y'all really think Coca-Cola is just going to sit back and just try to create something from scratch? No. They're going to buy up all these mom and pop shops. Yeah. They're going to buy up all these small companies, all these mid-sized companies that specialize in this area, and they're just going to be able to mass produce it more efficiently, and the cost will be a little less because they'll be able to do it mass production wise, right? So look for those mergers and acquisitions from Coca-Cola in a very near future. I know they're in talks with some other companies like Canopy Growth and all that type of stuff. I know for sure that Coca-Cola is getting into the wellness energy type drinks. So marijuana and cannabis is considered wellness. So I'm definitely sure that they definitely are going to be a part of those particular talks. Also, tobacco industry like your Philip Morris type companies, they've been around for decades. So do y'all really think that these mom and pop shops that's gonna have these quote unquote, let's say, weed cigs out without the tobacco industry having something to say?
Yeah, plus they can pay the lobbyists and everything.
They can pay the lobbyists. I mean, that's what they do for a living. They just take over, right? So, from our research this week, I paid attention to those companies that would be a good takeover, as far as Coca-Cola being an investor and tobacco companies being an investor for companies that are considered mid to small type companies. So, what type of companies are we speaking of? Right? You got some companies?
I have a few companies. The company that I actually wanted to speak about that incorporates a lot of them. It actually has an ETF that incorporates a lot of marijuana companies that deal with recreational, that deal with the wellness, that actually deal with the pharmaceutical. And this company is actually called Horizons Marijuana Life Sciences. Now, disclaimer, it is traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange. It's traded in Canada. And a lot of these companies have actually been started in Canada. So the ticker symbol is TSX. The good thing about it is that it actually pays dividends for you actually owning the stock. So there's about 10 companies, and I'll just go over a few of them, but there's 10 companies that are heavily weighted within the index, within the ETF. So a few of them are Aurora Cannabis, which hopefully you guys have heard of if you've seen in the news about the marijuana stocks. Canopy Growth, Afria, MedRelief, Scott's Miracle Grow actually is in this particular ETF, which is actually here. GW Pharmaceutical is another company. So
they don't have Tilray not in there?
Nah, Tilray is not in there. Kronos Group is actually in there, but Tilray is not in there, man, because Tilray has been very, very volatile for the last year.
That was messed up.
So again, the company's name is Horizons Marijuana Life Sciences. The ticker symbol is HMMJ, and it's actually traded on the TSX. If you're interested in the information, like I said, it pays you dividend pay.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about trading on the ETF, like, let's be real, we don't have a lot of time to research individual companies every single day or paying attention to what's going on because of our lifestyle, as far as family, kids, jobs, school, whatever. But investing in ETF is a good way to where you can have access to a bunch of companies in one fund and be able to basically invest in the industry in itself. Right?
It's not as volatile.
It's not as volatile. But what we do employ that if you are going to do that, just look at and just know of the type of companies that are within that particular fund and know the weighting of each particular company. And what we mean by weighting is that the ETF is basically 100% in itself. The fund is 100%. Within the fund, each company has its own weight. So like he said, Chronos, let's say it has a weight of 17%. So 17% of that ETF is Chronos. So if something goes wrong with Chronos, then look at 17% of change within that particular ETF. So that's trying to get your mind thinking as far as what we mean about investing in ETFs. And ironically enough, I started laughing when you said it trade on the OTC. So I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story. Y'all, I'm not this. Y'all probably we haven't made enough videos to know my risk tolerance. So I'm not really that risky whatsoever.
No.
So, but I made my very first risky trade early summer last year. So the company was a Canadian stock. It traded on the OTC. OTC means over the counter.
Yes.
So it could just over the counter mean that I could have my own stock in this in our studio right now and just say this is a company. That's how risky it is, right? So the company that I invested in was Crop Infrastructure Corporation, right? The ticker symbol is CRXPF, right? So essentially think of it as they are like a real estate type company. So they build facilities on farmland in order to mass produce and grow, cannabis, right? As far as the hemps and all that type of stuff, that's what they do. They just greenhouse facilities.
Yes.
Think of real estate, which is not a bad thing to get into when you're investing. So I'm like, okay. Marijuana business is doing well. It's like a real estate type stock. Okay.
Yeah,
Tilray was going bananas. It jumped up like 200 something points within one trading session one time last year. So I'm like, okay, let me get into Crop Infrastructure Corporation. So I got in, and it was a pink stock, right? It was traded on the pink sheet, meaning that it's a penny stock. That's right. So I got in at 14 cents. 14 cents. I called this fool up and said, hey, I just told him what I did, and he might want to look into it. I don't think it was 5 minutes later, he said, I bought shares in it. I'm like, did you do any homework? He said, no, I'm just gonna go with what you said, which is not a good idea, right? Some people found out as far as what we did, and they kind of followed the same footsteps of our, close family, because we treat family, friends as family. So I got in at 14 cents, right? Within 2 months, the stock went up, I think like 50 something cents, right? So I was like, oh shoot, I made a good return. I bought quite a bit of number of shares. I was like, okay, this is like the most money I made within this particular company than I ever did with any other company. I'm like, dang, it's really risky. Risk does really pay off. So, but ironically enough, at the end of the summer, the stock, started dropping from 50 something cents to the 40. I'm like, oh, okay, let me just see if we'll rebound. Then it went to the high 30s. I was like, up, I'm out. Right, so I got out around the high 30s, early 40s. So that's my little story of risky trading that I made. I made some good money into that. But I don't recommend you just go ahead and do that. I mean, you can if you want, but it's really risky.
Hey, I bought mine, right? I bought it after him, right? I held on to it too long, so I sold it about 24 cents. I just used that money to trade options. I was like, forget this, man.
You held it long with him?
Yeah, heck yeah. I held it long. You sold it. You sold it at that, what, 30? What you sell it?
Like, I know it was like probably in the low 40s.
Yeah,
between that range.
Yeah, I sold it at about 24 cents. I was like, man, I'll just take this money and trade options.
But just think, just a little side note. When you have those type of companies like penny stocks, you might hear YouTube, a lot of YouTube ads and stuff like that. Be careful with those because you can get into the trade, but it's hard. It can be hard to get out because of not enough volume of traders are really trading it. So if you're the only person who buys it and you're the only person who's trying to sell it, who you gonna sell it to? So you're stuck in this company that you can't do nothing with. So just be careful. Make sure there's nice volume. The stock is trading daily, at a very nice volume, at a very nice percentage to where you feel comfortable saying to yourself, if I get in, then I know I can get out.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So that was my little story. So I kind of lost train of thought.
No, we were just talking about the whole industry, man. The marijuana industry, the companies. We discussed particular companies. We discussed the dividend pay. I know I did HMMJ. Coca-Cola also pays dividends, of course. They pay That's how Buffett makes his money. He makes money off the dividend pay. So.
What else? Oh, you talking about that ETF? What? Scott's Miracle Grow. In the ETF that you
I did speak about Scott's Miracle Grow within that ETF.
Yeah, so and you put me onto the company a couple of days ago or a couple hours? Yeah. Well, basically a couple hours ago.
It was recent, man.
It was recent.
Doing a whole bunch of research.
Yeah, we're doing a whole bunch of research. But Scott's Miracle Grow is a very well established company. They've been around, the story is they've been around since 1858, right? But essentially with the company, and their ticker symbol is SMG. SMG. So basically they sell consumer garden and pest control, weeds, garden products and pest control and all that type of stuff. So you can see them at your local Home Depot, Lowe's, garden shop and stuff like that. They have different rare brands of products that they sell. And ironically enough, back in 2014, they created a subsidiary called Hawthorne Corporation. So why is that important? Why is that important? So they the first U.S. company to invest crazy amount of money in the cannabis sector. They created a subsidiary just to invest in the cannabis sector back in 2014, right? So this goes to show what type of industry this can be projected to be in the near future. So the question is, why is this consumer-based garden company that sells pest control, weed control to consumers? Why are they investing so much into this cannabis? I'm asking you, do you know why?
Because they feel as though they can make money off it in the future, like you were just saying.
But how though?
By getting into, their staple pretty much is with farming and growing and things of that nature, so that I'm assuming they're going to follow that particular pattern.
Yeah, so majority of their the goal for the Hawthorne subsidiary of Scott's Miracle Grow is to basically be a manufacturer and distributor of cannabis, as far as growing it, selling it, things of that nature. Ironically enough, back in 2018. Was it last year?
I think so.
Yeah, I think sometime last year they purchased Sunlight. Yeah, the company name is Sunlight for $425 million. Sunlight, at the time, or still the time, their main product is hydroponic which is basically growing plants and stuff without the use of soil, but just with water, right? So, and Sunlight is very heavily into the cannabis cultivation and irrigation of cannabis and marijuana. So look for Scott's Miracle Grow to be a company to be on point with it. Right now it's trading about around $100-something, $108. Also, they bottom was like a couple of months ago at 53. I mean, it had like a sharp incline. It had a sharp incline. So yeah, do some research on Scott's Miracle Grow. That's another type of company that we believe that will do some great things in the very near future. They already invested at minimum $425 million into the industry. So that's a good company to look into. So yeah, man. Anything else?
At the moment, man, we did a lot of research.
Yeah, a lot of research.
A lot of research and information to give this out, and then actually look at it for ourselves as well in the near future, man. So yeah, we're going to be investing in that. That's just going to be a part of the portfolio.
Yeah, part of the portfolio, and take one day at a time. I know we'll have some special classes in the very near future of how to research and do stuff like this, as well as some different alternative stocks that you can look at. So for next week's video or a video in the future, we're gonna talk about clean tech.
Yes, sir.
Clean energy.
Yes.
That is gonna be very big within the clean energy sector.
Yes, sir.
The energy sector. So, with that being said, anything else?
No, sir. That should be it for this episode, man.
All right. Thank you for watching. Oh, I never say this, but please like.
Go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Because everybody else
doing it. I don't do it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with your aunties, share with your uncles, share with your nephews, your cousins, your mama, your daddy, share with anybody.
Yes, sir.
We're just here to provide enough information, some good quality information for you to look into, to invest your money instead of shopping for frivolous things.
I mean, give us some information too, so we can look into the companies you guys like as well.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, we'll definitely research companies for you guys. We're not giving any advice. We're gonna just tell you what we're looking at. So until next video.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Yep.
When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing